Assalamu alaikum and hello everybody. This is an introductory lecture on statistical quality control. This is our assignment 2 of UGC HRDC orientation program. I am Dr. Shima Sadia from Department of Statistics and Operation Research. So I will give you an introductory lecture on statistical quality control. So first is, what is statistical quality control? Statistical quality control is made up of three words: statistics, quality, control. So we can say that when we use statistics in order to control the quality of any product for its betterment or improvement, then we say that we have applied statistical quality control on it. So in order to control the quality of something, when we apply statistics on it, it is called statistical quality control. So as it is made up of three words, statistical, quality and control, so we can say that statistical has come from statistics, and statistics is collection, classification, summarizing and presentation of quantitative data. Then quality refers to the distinctive attributes possessed by something which is free from defects, deficiencies and significant variation. That is, we say that something is of good quality when it is better in terms of performance, durability, reliability, etc. We say that this item is of good quality. Then what is control? Control means when we try to control the quality of anything by comparing it with set standards. Means we have some set standards for different products, and when we make something, then we compare that with the when we make something, we compare that with the set standards, and if they are within certain limits, we say that means if they are within certain limits, then we say that yes, it is in control limits. But if it goes out of that limit, then we say that it is out of set standards, so it is not of good quality, and we try to bring it in particular limit. Next is, quality definitions were given by different quality gurus. So first is, what is quality gurus? Quality gurus, as we can understand by its word, that quality gurus means teacher. So quality gurus are teachers which are efficient in quality, in concepts of quality, or they have good knowledge of quality. So there are many quality gurus, and some famous were Dr. Taguchi, Dr. Joseph M. Juran, Dr. Karo Ishikawa, Dr. Edward Deming, Dr. Phillips Crosby, etc. And Dr. Walter Shewhart is known as father of statistical quality control. So different definitions were given by different people, not only by quality gurus but also by different organizations. So some definition we have given, like Joseph M. Juran defined quality as fitness for use, that how much the product or item is fit for use. Then Taguchi's defined quality of a product is measured in terms of the quality lost to society due to functional variation and harmful side effects. Under the ideal condition, the quality loss would be zero, that the product will be 100%, means it will be of best quality. Then next question is, why quality is important? We are studying statistical quality control, so why we are considering quality as so important? So quality is important because in order to satisfy our customer, or in order to maintain our market, because these days the competition is very high, and in order to be in the market, the manufacturers want that their product should be of best quality, and in terms of price also, and in terms of so to compete in the market, its price should also be good, but it should be of good quality, otherwise they will lose their market. Like Nokia, we all are aware that Nokia was the most selling mobile phone. Earlier it was the Nokia phones were best selling, but after the launch of smartphones, their market has they lost their market completely, just because they were not able to produce the quality product in same price range as compared to other compared to other brands. So quality should be very important. Next is They also enable you to charge and maintain high prices. If our quality will be good, then our customer will give us high price also. Like for example, iPhone. They iPhones, we know that iPhones are the costliest, but we pay them high because we know that they are very iPhones are best. So in order to maintain and charge higher prices, we should have good quality. Next is, what is quality control? Quality control is a process through which a business seeks to ensure that the product quality is maintained or improved. Quality control requires the business to create an environment in which both management and employees strive for perfection in terms of quality. It is a process through which a business checks or ensures that product quality is maintained or improved. It involves testing of particular units and determining whether they are within the specification sets or standards required for that product. Next is, what are the dimensions of quality? Now what we want means, how can we say that a product is of good quality? Number one is performance. Like it is a means performance is the product's primary operating characteristics, like how well the product or service will perform. For example, in case of car, we say that what is the fuel economy of car. In case of battery, we say that what is the life of the battery, etc. Then comes features. Features refers to additional characteristics that enhance the appeal of product or service to a customer. For example, the designs of seats in a car. Like when we go to buy a car, we also see that how it looks from inside, how is its finishing, etc. So features must also be good. For example, as in case of mobile, when we go to buy a phone, we always check that how are its features. So features are also very important. Next comes your durability, how much the product will be durable. So it measures the length of the product's life. For example, time duration, the amount of time the product will work efficiently without any flaws. Next is reliability. It is the likelihood that a product will not fail within a specific time period, or it is the expected time of fault-free operation. Next is your conformance. Conformance means how much the product or service are meeting the specified standards as per documentation. I have already told you that we set certain standards for anything, for a particular product, and our product, if our product will meet those standards, then only we can say that this product is of good quality. Otherwise, if it is not meeting those standards, then we have to improve its quality. Next is your serviceability. Serviceability is very important. For it means when we go to buy any product, we always ask that how is the service of this product, how will it is its service center is there in the city or not. So these are some questions we ask. So service is also important because every product needs service after some time. So it is the speed with which the product can be put into service when it breaks down, as well as the competence and behavior of the service person. This is also important because you must have seen that some people are not of good behavior, service persons. So this is also taken in consideration. Then is uniformity. The uniformity is that there should be uniformity between all the products of the same brand. Like all the products should be like a mobile phone of a particular brand and of same model, they should be same. It should not be like this, some are performing, some are of different sizes or shapes, so they must be uniform. Then is safety. Then that is how much it is safe in terms of environment or for human safety, health, etc. Next is your aesthetics. It refers to sensory characteristics, just like look, feels, how is its appearance, and how it looks in comparison to other products. Next is reputation. Reputation is the reputation of the company which is producing the product. Like I told you that iPhone has made its reputation. So the past performance of the product or the company, like company standing within the industry. Next is your compatibility. Compatibility refers to the product compatibility and interferes with peripherals or other attachment, power sources, etc. Like how much the product is compatible in our house or in our environment. Next is what is statistical quality control. Now we will define its definition in two forms. We have already defined, but it was just an introduction, or we have defined in simple words so that you can understand what is the worldly meaning of it. Statistical quality control can be defined as when statistical techniques are employed for the control and maintenance of the uniform quality of the product manufactured in a factory through a continuous flow of production. Therefore, SQC depends upon the quality of raw material, manpower, machines and management. Now, statistical quality control methods are applied to two distinct phases of manufacturing operation. These are process control and product control. We have seen that SQC can be further divided as process control, product control. Now, what is process control? It is concerned with controlling the quality of the product during the production process only. Means when the product is in the production stage, we try to control the quality at that time only. And for this, a chart is also prepared. Now, product control is after the production process. Means when the product is completely formed, then product control is done. It is concerned with controlling the quality of the product by critical examination at strategic points. It is concerned with inspection of goods already produced to ascertain whether they are fit to be dispatched or not. It makes use of sampling inspection plans to achieve the objective. Means we are saying that when the product is manufactured, then we check that whether they are fit to be dispatched or not. Means whether they are good or not, whether they are in that condition, whether they are conforming to standards, and now they can go for dispatchment or not. Under process control comes statistical process control. It is a method of quality control which employs statistical method to monitor and control a process. This helps to ensure that the process operates efficiently, producing more specification conforming products with less waste. There are 7 tools of SPC. They are as follows: control chart, cause and effect diagram, histogram, Pareto chart, scatter diagram, flow chart, check sheet. This is process flow diagram. The first one is, we also say that we can also call it as flow chart. You must be aware of flow chart, that it is a diagram that represents a process step by step with the various kinds of boxes, and we connect these boxes with arrows. The flow chart shows us how the process is going, what step we should take if some problem occurs. So everything is given in a flow, that if the process is not working properly, then what should we do? If it is working properly, then what should we do? So everything is given in a process, so it is easier to understand. That is why we use process flow diagram. Next is your check sheet. Check sheet is a structured prepared form for collecting and analyzing data in real time at the location where data is generated. Okay. Next is histogram. Histogram is the most commonly used graph for showing frequency distribution, or how often each different value in a set of data occurs. It displays the variation within a process, also called frequency distribution chart. Next is your Pareto diagram. Pareto diagram is a graph that shows which factors are more important or which factors are significant by arranging them in descending orders. The factors which are important are arranged first, and the factors which are less important are arranged descendingly. Next is your cause and effect diagram. Cause and effect diagram was given by a Japanese scientist, Ishikawa. He was also a quality guru. We have earlier discussed his name. cause and effect diagram, as you can see that the structure of this diagram is like a fishbone structure, means the skeleton of fish is like this only. So it is also called as fishbone structure. So this it was given by Japanese scientists. It is also called fishbone diagram. It shows relationship of all factors that lead to given effect. It identifies various causes affecting a problem. Next is your scatter diagram. Scatter diagram is a scatter diagram shows numerical data, one variable on each axis. It shows the relationship between two variables by plotting these points. Means we say that if the line is linear, if the plot is like this, this plot is almost linear, so we say that the two variables are having linear relationship. So when we plot two variables, we use scatter diagram. Next is your control chart. This is the most important statistical tool for SPC, and it is commonly used. So control chart gives you it's a graph which helps us which tells us how a process changes over time. It compares current data to historical control limits, leads to conclusion about whether the process variation is consistent or not. Next is product control. So product control use the technique of acceptance sampling. Now we have discussed that SQC is can be divided into two parts: process control, and under process control there are 7 tools of process control, but the most important is control charts. And control charts are also of two types: variables for attributes. When we are measuring things in terms of means all those things which can be measured, we take it in we make control charts for variable. And when we are considering things which gives us attributes like whether this fan will work or not work, so at that time we draw control charts for attributes. So control charts for variables are of two types: X bar chart, R chart, and control bars for attributes are of 3 types: C chart, NP chart, P chart. Now we have come on product control, and under product control comes acceptance sampling. So we were discussing that acceptance sampling. Acceptance sampling is a statistical measure used in quality control. It allows a company to determine the quality of a batch of products by selecting a specified number for testing. The quality of this designated sample will be viewed as the quality level for the entire group of products. Now there are 3 types of now the types of acceptance sampling are given. Major classification is done on the basis of variables and attributes, same as we have done for process control. And the sampling plans for attributes are further classified as single sampling plan, double sampling plan, and multiple sampling plan. Now what is single sampling plan? In this single sampling, we select only one sample from a lot to draw a conclusion that whether the sample is accepted or not. For example, if we have a lot of 100 items and there is some acceptance number which we decide that according to which we have to select a sample, we have to accept a sample or reject a sample, and then we select a lot. So consider like we have a lot of 100 and we select a sample of 20, and we have pre-decided an acceptance number of 2. So if out of those 20 the sample which we have selected of size 20, if we see that there are 2 items less than 2 items defected, then we accept the lot. And otherwise, if we say that the out of those 20 the acceptance number was 2 and more than 2 items are defected, so we reject the lot. and we then send it for repair, send it for correction, etc. Next is double sampling plan. In double sampling plan, when a single sample is not enough in order to reach a conclusion that whether we have to reject a sample or accept a sample, then we use double sampling plan. So a sampling plan in which a decision about the exception or rejection is based on two samples is called a double sampling plan. It is used when a decision is not made on the basis of single sample. Here an acceptance number is pre-decided and there are two acceptance number now. So we check whether our product, when we select a sample, if it is not means in one sample we are not able to decide that whether we have to accept the sample or reject a sample. Next is multiple sampling plan. In multiple sampling plan, we have to take, it is also like double sampling plans, means we are not able to conclude whether we have to accept or reject a sample just by on basis of one sample. We will take another sample, but after taking that sample also we are not able to decide that whether we have to, because it is not, we have some criteria and it will not, if it is not able to fulfill that criteria, then we will say that it will not be able, we will not consider this lot for acceptance. So we will take another lot and then we try to find out whether now it is fit, we can accept it for, we can accept this lot or not, and otherwise if it is not fulfilling those requirements, then we take another sample. And in multiple sampling plan we take many samples in order to reach a conclusion that whether we have to, whether we will accept the lot or not. So this is all for the introductory part of statistical quality control. I hope it is clear to everyone. This subject is wide and we can this is just an introduction of the subject. Thank you.